Welcome to Overdrive. I'm Peter Hills and these are my mini racing diaries. Previously on the mini racing diaries, so welcome to my mini racing diaries. It's been a bit of a strange year, isn't it, really? I mean, got everything all done. You saw all everything we did, rebuilt the engine, fitted the new subframes, took it up on the dyno, got some great power figures from the dyno, and then drove back from there on the Sunday, got home on the Monday, and coronavirus all kicked off. And really, yeah, we're now back end of August, bank holiday, and I'm only now thinking about going racing. There has been a couple of races, Donington back in July, and then BTCC support, which I didn't do. I think we've been in lockdown so long, all these rules and regulations about how to go racing and face masks and stuff, and I must admit, I just lost the enthusiasm for it. I really did. I just thought, well, do I sit out this year or do I give it a go? And we've done a few jobs on the car, which we'll look at in a bit. Yeah, so it wasn't all finished when we got the engine done, and hopefully we're going to give it a go. Then I've got Llandow nearby, which is my little local track. But we'll just go there for a few hours just to shake the car down, make sure nothing's going to fall off. And then just before Snetterton, towards the back end of September, we're going to do a track day up there, open pit lane. So that's wonderful. You know, we can go up there, and a friend of mine, still at the Mini 7 Club, ex-racer Mark Chandler, is going to come along and give me a hand. And Mark's going to drive the car as well. We can see if we can play with the suspension, do a few tweaks, look at the data, look at the video, and see if we can get me better. Because in all honesty, I haven't been out of a race car now in over a year, since the DTM meeting back in August last year. That was it. The crank went, and that's been it. So I'm really rusty. So it'll be nice to shake the car down, go and do some testing. And we're going to be testing on the track days on the same track and layout as we're going to be racing on, so that's going to be very good. So hopefully I'll be on the pace, and then that will make a good race weekend. So that's my current plans. All we've really got left from this season then is Snetterton. I think we then go to Coombe and then Thruxton, and that's it at the moment. We don't seem to be having a winter series this year. I think we're getting towards the back end of October, but you never know, something might occur, something might turn up. It would be great if it did. But what we will do today, we'll just that's the plan. Hopefully we can get to film some of it. It's quite tricky when I'm on my own. You know, I'm having to do things on the mobile and little stands and recording things. But we'll try and get as much as we can from in-car and from around the paddock and the pits, and hope you'll find it interesting. What have we done to this little beastie since we came back from the rollers? Well, one of the things you'll first notice is got a bit of another power bulge going on. So you can actually see that this is the original pulley bulge, but with my engine the cam cover was just a bit too close, so I've glassed in this nice bulge there and painted that, so now we've got plenty of clearance, and it also allows the bonnet to sit a bit tighter. Notice quite a lot of mini Migglers this year have been fitting cold air scoops in for their carburetors, and I really hadn't done this with mine. So like my previous bonnet, now I've opened up the front on the nose to get cold air in. I don't think it needs to be full size as the filter. As long as it's getting some, and it will get plenty through those snouts. So that's looking really good. So the other things I needed since got shut down. We managed to bought 2 more wheels from Specialist Components for my some spares, because I started off with like 4 wheels for slicks, 4 for wets, and I bought another 2 of these SC split rims to carry 2 more fronts, because sometimes you go through them a bit at the weekend, but I never had any spares for rear. So at last now I bought 2 rims so I can now run rear spares. I've had a route around and managed to sort out some good wets. I'm in the process then of matching those to my old wheels, which are some MBs. So a good friend of mine, Dave Franks, has sold me one of his MB split rims, so I've got one of my wets on there, and I've got a new inner. I can get an outer, and I need to get a new outer made, and I've got a centre I can buy, and I can make up another of these, so I'll then have 6 wets, because the wet compounds are the same front and rear, so really just 2 spare will be fine. So that's me getting sorted with my wheels and tyres now. And because we want to go testing, the other thing we've done is I managed to borrow this seat off a friend just for the track day, mainly because I think Mark would struggle to get into my seat, so we managed to get this one to borrow, and I can bolt that in quickly. And the great thing is I've still got my old belt, so for a track day, perfect. We can just clip these belts in. I haven't got to readjust mine and then adjust them when I get back in. I just unclip, put these in. He can race it, or he can not race it, he can help me with the testing. Just take these out and then put my belts back in, so all nice and simple. So yeah, nice core boost print from Sheep Speed Jim. It's very handy actually in this in our area. We've got a lot of mini people racing. I think we felt like there's more mini people racing in this small area just down in South Wales than any other race series. So it's really handy for getting things done. So there you go, you can see how we're getting on. Nearly there. One of the other nice things that happened over lockdown is a lot of people obviously were really starved the business, and Ian Cook from Pop Bang Colour started to do what he called his continuous car drawings, and it was all online on Instagram, Facebook. Absolutely fantastic. If you've ever been to Silverstone, you'll see all his artwork up on the wing, and he's the very clever artist who actually paints with cars, with model cars, with full size. He's done artwork in the Italian Grand Prix, major manufacturers. There's race cars wrapped with his designs. It looks absolutely superb. So Ian had this photograph of my car from Silverstone, just coming out through the complex, coming out of Stowe, coming around to the wing, and he had this picky, and then, clever man that he is, in a few minutes with some felt pens, came at this fantastic little picky of my Mini. So I'm really chuffed to have this. Thank you very much, Ian. It's very much appreciated. And all I really need to do is find a nice frame for it. You can see here it was in his sketchbook, and he's ripped it out of his sketchbook. Isn't how great is that? And he's still doing it, so well worth checking him out on Instagram and on Facebook. Look for Pop Bang Colour and continuous car drawings. Really is top work. We're up at Llandow today, and got a race in 2 weeks' time. We've come up to do a shakedown, and really all I'm doing, I'm just making sure the car works, the engine's good, brakes, clutch, yeah, and that's the aim of today, just to make sure the car is okay. Nothing falls off, nothing leaks, nothing breaks. Hopefully everything will be good, and then we're going to head up at the end of this week up to Snetterton, and we're going to go testing up there. Got a track day booked. Friend of mine, Mark Chandler, is going to give me a hand, and we're just going to see if we can get the car set up a bit better, because I've never been that confident in getting the dampers and all that done. So we'll give it a go. Unfortunately, the weather's a bit iffy here today, and I don't want to wreck the car. I don't want to have to put wets on. It's not really, it's a bit kind of 1 minute it's dry, then it's wet. So I'm just going to take my time, enjoy myself, bed the car in, check the tyres, check the wheel bearings, just keep checking everything just to make sure it runs well, because I don't want any problems next Friday when I get up there. So it's all looking really good at the moment, so I'll keep you posted throughout the day. We've done our first run. Unfortunately, it's raining. No issues at all. Oil pressure good, water temp good, changing gear lovely, throttle maybe a bit high for heel and towing. Everything else feels okay. Done a good check over, got a big shakedown with it. It's all looking lovely. So unfortunately, as you can see, it's gone a bit overcast and wet at the moment, and I could put wets on, but I'm not going to. I was just here to do a shakedown, so I'm gonna go and have a coffee now. Doing a little bit of data recording, but really as I drive around, I'm just trying to learn how to use the data logger, what the screens do, because most of the times when I've been racing, I haven't been getting all the data. So I'm going to sit there now and turn the battery on, maybe go through the data. We can have a look at some of the screens. Actually, we can do it now, why not? Okay, so using the Race Technologies data logger. I'm not quite sure at the moment if we're going to get any data out of this, but we can have a quick look. screen 2, so that gives us a speed, time. Screen 4, I think if we go to menu, select session review, quick session review, oh no session data, so I must have turned the battery off, so that's a shame, never mind. So yeah, I've got to learn all this, because screen 1's battery, screen 2 speed, so that would be quite handy, and then screen 4 gives me the times. So it looks like I have to press this button while I'm out on track to put down a track marker, so then I can see my my best and predicted. So that's what it thinks I should be able to do, and that's what I am doing. So it's an ideal day today just to learn how to use things like that. It's all linked to this. You can see there's flashing away there, so it's got GPS all along. You just press the login, so it actually is logging onto that card, so I can look at the data later. But for the moment, this will all come for Friday. I really need to learn how to use this for Friday, which is what today's all about. This is just, I'm running in the car, I'm happy, everything's looking good, so time for a brew. So welcome to sunny and a little bit blustery Snetterton, folks. We're up here to do a track day to help get the car set up. We've had a few issues this morning. Hopefully we've addressed them now. The sessions are just starting up now for the afternoon. There's cars out on track, so hopefully we're going to give it a good run and see how it goes. We'll be up here in about a week's time then to race, so we'll see how we go. But she's all looking good, so really pleased. This car felt brilliant out on track, and you can hear there's lots of nice machinery out there running around at the moment. But the car's good. Hope I can learn something. So first to drive was Mark. He has years of experience of minis, having built and raced them throughout the 90s and early 2000s, and nowadays is part of Owen's mini pit crew. He's an ex-Welsh Sports and Saloon Car Champion from 1998. He's also raced in the Old Folk and Tires Championship, and later raced a Miglia with the Mini 7 Racing Club. In fact, that car is still raced today by Dave Edgecombe, but it's been 13 years since he last drove a race mini on the track. Anyway, the idea was I needed feedback on my car. Did it handle okay? Were the dampers and anti-roll bars set right? Stuff like that. Mark was the man to do that, along with looking at the onboard camera and data after each session to coach me on improving. Remember, this car has only ever been driven by me since I built it in 2018, after the accident I was involved in that year wrote off the previous shell. I've often thought during my short racing career that I wasn't getting the most from either the car or myself, and this was the time to sort both out. So after Mark had driven the car a few laps and we'd had a chat about the handling, engine, tyres, etc., it was time to put what I was learning into practice. During the lunch break we swapped the seats and belts back to my regular ones, so I felt properly comfortable in the car, and then headed back out on track for a busy afternoon. So this is the end of the day at Snetterton. Came up here for a bit of testing. Nice drive up yesterday. Got myself set up. Everything's been good. Car started lovely this morning. Went to have a noise test, and it just got worse and worse. And I thought, what on earth is going on? And in the end, it wouldn't run. I thought, oh great, you know, all this way and we're not running. So luckily, Mark Chandler, one of the Owens Motorsport guys, was with me. He said he'd come and give me a hand, and we had a good look at the engine, and below, I don't know how it's happened, snapped the Woodruff key on the crank end where the trigger wheel and damper is. So timing had slipped. In fact, I've even got somewhere, I thought I had the bits in my pocket, but maybe not. So, oh yes, I have. Right, here we go. That's what a good one should look like. And that's the one that came out of my engine. You can see the end's missing, and that end was where the trigger wheel was. So that was it. It turned. So I think, oh great, now what do I do? Where am I going to get a Woodruff key from? And luckily around here, Specialist Components just up the road. I thought of Jonathan Lewis with the Snetterton Speed Shop, but those guys were away down at brand testing. I found a little MG place in East Harling. So Mark shot down there, got us another Woodruff key, and we just about made the session this morning. So Mark went out, tried the car, absolutely loved it. And what was more surprising is that he said, I wouldn't touch it, dampers are fine, handling lovely, it's quite twitchy on the back. He thought it was fantastic. So I thought, bloody hell, I've got it right. So I was well chuffed. So really, I spent the afternoon then running the car myself, trying to get some times in. Haven't been able to look at the data, got a bit of film. Hopefully Kevin will put that up with what we've done today. And this little bit of film just to explain what went on. But all the way from Snetterton to back home Friday night, I'm just knackered. So I'm now just let the paddock get on with it. Got testing in the 750 Motor Club race Saturday. I'm just pulled up on the grass out the way. Trailers on the back, and we're gonna hopefully head off early morning and have a nice drive back when I feel a little bit more with it, because otherwise I'll be getting home at midnight and I'm absolutely knackered. So hopefully it'll be a good run home tomorrow. A few little jobs, tidy ups, little oil leaks, things like this, and you know, the cars are under so much stress. But overall it all went well. Really pleased. Got my times down to not brilliant, certainly not mid pace, but I found 9 seconds from when I first went out. I'm so rusty, it's unreal. When I was 3 seconds quicker than a couple of years ago with the old car. So that's good, but I'm just, I think people don't realise, I think at times, but you got to race to find speed. If you're racing with other people, you suddenly learn what you can do and what you can get away with. And testing's okay, but sometimes it's difficult to up the pace to the next level. When I used to race motocross, it was the same thing. You were out on the test track and you thought, oh, I'm going well. And then you go racing and then you go back testing and you suddenly frighten yourself because you don't realise how much competing with other people, you just pick up speed, you learn off them. And I think that's what hopefully will happen next week. Once we'll start to race next week, I mean, I think my times are good enough to get me not in a bad place on the Libra grid. But I'm sure once we get racing and we get into the racing with the back of the mid grid, because we start behind them, then I'm sure my pace will pick up and hopefully I'll find a bit more time. But not a bad day. Rather now than next week. So it's swings and roundabouts, isn't it, really? So hopefully this film will go together with the racing next week. But I really didn't have time to sit and do this today. It's been flat out all day, and I just want to chill out now and have a bit of tea. Catch you all soon.